Let's make these pistachio cream chocolate chip cookies. They're super delicious, they're loaded with pistachio, and they're the top recipe on my website for a very good reason. To start out, we're going to freeze pistachio cream in 1 tablespoon portions to make it easier to stuff into the cookie dough later on. Then we're going to brown our butter, which just means we're going to cook the butter on the stove until the water evaporates and we're able to toast the milk solids. And so you'll start to get little brown bits, and that's when you want to take it off of the stove. And here I highly recommend weighing your brown butter to make sure you have 90 grams. After you do that, freeze the butter for 5 minutes so it can cool off. Once the butter is slightly cooled, we can get started on our cookie dough. Start by mixing together your brown sugar, granulated sugar, and brown butter. Make sure you add in all those toasty bits from the bottom of the bowl as well. Next, we'll add in the egg and vanilla and whisk those in until well combined. And then for our dry ingredients, we're adding in all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. I always recommend using a scale for the best results because adding in too much flour is the #1 culprit for dry, tall, cakey cookies, and it's way too easy to overmeasure with cup measurements. Fold the dry ingredients into the dough until only a few flour streaks remain, then chop up your pistachios and add them into the dough along with the chocolate. Only fold just until that last streak of flour disappears to avoid overmixing the dough. Next, it's time to assemble the cookies. Scoop out about 1/4 cup scoops of dough, then one at a time flatten each dough ball, place a frozen pistachio cream piece in the center and roll it back up. Here I also like to gently press the cookies back into the scooper to make them a little bit more uniform. After you've assembled all the cookies, melt some pistachio cream and spread it on the tops of each of them and press in some extra chocolate chips. Chill the cookies covered in the fridge for 30 minutes. Then, bake them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 14 minutes or until the edges start to turn golden brown. When you first take them out of the oven, they might look a little misshapen or a little larger and more spread out than you want them to be, but there's a super simple fix to that to make sure your cookies are nice and circular, and that's just taking a bowl that's a little bit larger than your cookie, putting it on top of the cookie and swirling it around. And then I'm going to add a few more pistachios and chocolate chips on top. And there you have it, delicious brown butter pistachio cream chocolate chip cookies. You can find the full recipe on my website in the description. Thank you so much for watching, be sure to subscribe for more.